One of my clients got approved 135K in business funding in 11 days, and I wanted to just talk about it just because I think this video will help y'all to understand the new way of getting business funding so you can maximize your business funding. If you're watching this, maybe you're a seasoned business owner, maybe you make at least a quarter million in your business to upwards of a million plus. So keep in mind, I already know you're going to have the right mindset, but it's possible we could be having other people watch this video. So you see the receipt right there for a $50,000 Chase card. So 50 of this 135 that was achieved in 11 days was from Chase. Just FYI. So I got a belief. And my belief is I believe the best systematic way to get high limit business funding is by working with a bank relationship manager that's been vetted. What do I mean by that? It's not enough to just walk in a bank and say, "Oh, I want a BRM," just because you need to vet these people, right? And you got to understand these people are human beings too. And I personally know a lot more about how the banks work than some of these people that work in the bank. So some of these people within the Chase Bank and just Bank of America, other banks that you think about, I know more about, what they should know more than me of. So this is why I say you have to properly vet these people because the relationships that I've established, this has been years of work. Every BRM I've worked with has not been properly vetted. So I had to learn this over time. I'd invest in mentorship to understand that, but I had to do it over time, right? If you don't have these relationships established already, your best option is to work with the funding company that already implements this and has data from applying for many other business owners, right? So, for example, I want to talk about my client Alexander. I did a separate video on how we got him $85,000 in business funding. And basically, before he came to us, he was getting like anywhere from three to $10,000 limit approvals, and he was doing it himself, and he was doing it the old way of funding. Until he came to us, he got the 35 to 50K with our new way, right? So I'm gonna talk about that. So the old way of getting business funding is literally applying online and then just praying that the algorithm favors you. You could have the best credit, you could have a profitable business. We literally have data measuring against people that have better statistics versus clients that we've had that got higher limits, right? So if you've seen some of my previous videos, I did a comparison with Chase, where people will apply online that have pretty phenomenal numbers versus we've had clients, I don't want to say that they're worse, but their numbers aren't as impressive as some of those people at Chase that applied online and only got like a $7,000, $10,000 limit. And then my clients are getting like 45, 50K, right? It's because of the old way versus new way of business funding. You have to keep up with the times. If you're older, right? Chances are you're probably not super, super young. Maybe you're in your 40s or something, or even if you're younger, you've got to understand that you can't be fixed in your ways. You have to adapt to the new way of things. So, old way as well is just going in person and trying to work with the rep you have no prior relationship with. So, like I said, maybe you're watching me online and you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna do what Michael doing. I want a BRM, right? You don't even know how I even came to have my relationships with my BRMs. It doesn't work like that. This is the new way of getting business funding. You got to work with a vetted BRM with a different application process. This is the new way to maximize your funding. I'm not saying you could do the old way and then not get approved. You can get approved, but it's not gonna necessarily be in your best interest to do it the old way. And then the new way, in most cases, you're going to be hiring a business funding company that has these relationships, aka our company, right? That's why you see all these videos where I'm showing the receipts and proof of these people are getting high limit funding because we have the results, we have the data. We've applied for a lot of people that got denied, as well as obviously a lot of people that got approved. So we have data. Let's talk about the what ifs. So, oh, before I even get into it, I wasn't going to really cover it like that, but as far as the breakdown for the 135, so $50,000, as y'all saw, was Chase, uh, and then 85 was Citizens Bank as well. So it was with just two banks. So just keep that in mind. So what if I just do it myself, right? Let's talk about scenario one. So one scenario, you got denied because you aren't an expert in what the banks are looking for and you don't have the relationships to do it. Let experts do what experts do. You feel me? You're working on your business, you're busy in your business, and then just, let us do what we're gonna do to help you maximize that. So scenario two, let's say you get approved, right? But what if you have a low limit approval because you don't understand the nuances of the industry, the business funding industry? You don't understand the nuances of what the banks are looking for. You don't understand the nuances of setting up your LLC or corporation the proper way, right? And now what happens is, let's say you got a $10,000 approval. You got to wait 3 to 6 months before you can even do a credit limit increase. Maybe you're only getting 5 to 10K incremental increases. Let's give you the best case scenario. You got a $10,000 card, you get a $10,000 increase in like 3 to 6 months. So now you went from 10 to 20. You got to wait an additional 3 to 6 months, 10 to 20 to 30. Whereas if you worked with the expert like ourselves that have the relationships, that have a different application method, you could have potentially already got 45 to 50K just straight out the jump. So basically, it's a saving time and money issue, right? So you got to understand that. And what I like to say too, seasoned business owners that we typically work with, they understand this concept. It's usually poor people that have the hardest time grasping this concept. Because this video is on YouTube, I'm usually directly talking to just the seasoned business owners that we're working with. You know, the people that are doing at least a quarter million, 300,000 plus within their business. But I understand that any and everybody can watch my video. So if you're a poor person that's watching this, you've got to think like a seasoned business owner, right? Rich people get to the next level because they understand these simple concepts I'm talking about. You have to use logic when it comes to business. You can't be in your feelings. You can't be like, oh, I'm just going to do it myself. I don't want this person to get paid. I don't want to invest no money, right? That's how poor people articulate. That's how poor people think. So don't be a poor person. So let's talk about why the new way is logically a better option. I was talking about logic. Let's continue to talk about logic. So we have data. Our data shows statistically, studies show that we've conducted, business owners using our vetted BRMs get significantly higher approvals. I told you about my client Alexander. He tried to do it on himself by himself, got like 3 to 10K limits versus coming with us. Now you're getting those higher limits, right? Because of the relationship, because of what we understand, because of how we understand how to structure the personal profile of the business as well, right? So these people, our studies show, these people that go through the new way of business funding, where we're using our relationships and our knowledge and expertise to be able to help you maximize your approvals, they get higher limit approvals versus the people like, I don't want to say it's you, but people that may watch my video and think that they just gonna do it themselves, right? So DIY business funding without a BRM, right? It could be DIY business funding without, it could be with a BRM, but without fully understanding the nuances of how to maximize approvals. Because it's not just simple like, oh, I'm just gonna work with the BRM. There's more that goes into it. The BRM does not guarantee that approval, right? I can't publicly say everything, obviously, but I say that to say we are good at what we do, and that's why we get results. So these people also get higher limit approvals versus even our own business funding when we're going through doing it without a BRM, without the vetted BRM, right? So I say that to say the vetted BRM is a very, very important part of the process. So just keep that in mind, man. So why should you even hire a funding company like us, right? So think about it. Logic again. I want us to simply use logic while we're watching this video. It's literally like hiring a barber versus cutting your own hair yourself. Why do you hire a barber? You're hiring a barber maybe because you don't know how to do it, or it's just a convenience thing, right? It's just that the whole barber versus cutting your hair yourself, that's an easier example to grasp. That's why I like to compare it because a lot of people just think business funding is just a super simple thing that they could just, do themselves. It's not like that. So when you think about it, when you think about hiring a funding company, think about it like you're going to get your haircut if you're not a barber. So it's like hiring someone to change your oil versus you doing it yourself. So same shit, same exact shit, right? And then for anybody that watches boxing as well, I like making comparisons with that too. It's like a casual boxing fan that's minimizing a fight that they're watching and they're calling it boring, right? Versus a fan that understands the technicalities and the nuances of boxing and understands that this is like a chess match, right? And it's actually exciting. So the casual is people that try to do the business funding by themselves. They don't have the relationships, they don't have the data. We have a lot of data because we do this shit. You could argue too, back when I first started in 2021, I could have had that mindset if I didn't have someone like myself to come and tell myself that this shit is not just oversimplified. You have to understand that it's levels to this, right? That goes into it. So that's the best way for me to explain to y'all logically. So in closing out the video, if you are a business owner that can benefit from your next 100K at 0% interest or just additional funding, lines of credit as well, to help you grow and scale your business, book a call below. Notice I said grow and scale your business. We typically work with people that already have existing businesses. If you are a new business owner, you're not in a growing or scaling position. You're in a start position, right? I'm not saying we can't help you if you're a new business owner, but specifically, we get the best results working with current business owners that are already making money, at least a quarter million a year, right? So if that's you, go ahead and book a call below. If you are a new business owner as well, your damn credit better be on point, like damn near 800, well built out. And then, we'll probably be able to help you as well. But with that being said, hopefully this was helpful and hopefully it could change y'all mindset when it comes to funding. And hopefully y'all internalize the belief too. Before I even close out the video, let's go back to the belief. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. I believe the best systematic way, I didn't say the guaranteed way. This is a system. The best system to get high limit business funding approvals is by working with a bank relationship manager that's been vetted. You have to vet these people. Vetting takes time. If you don't have the time to vet people, if you don't have the time to understand what questions you need to ask to vet people, work with a funding company. Those of y'all that it applies to, we'll catch you on a call. Book a call in the description below. Y'all have a blessed one.